Welcome back, everyone. In a now loaded Eastern Conference, the Toronto Raptors have largely been forgotten about by the media, and I would even go as far to say that they are being slept on. Not by everyone, of course, but a majority of the NBA world is overlooking them. Without having a widely regarded star player, the Raptors lack the star power that many other teams do. And for the casual fan, having star power pretty much means you're a contender, though I think we know that there's much more to it than simply that. And one big part of being a contender is having depth, which I think we can all agree that the Raptors have. Not only that though, but they have a unique form of depth that very few teams have, with them having a number of players who can play at 3, 4, or even all 5 positions on the court. And that allows them to be virtually positionless. I mean, when their quote-unquote center and Pascal Siakam can actually be their part-time point guard, you already know they're pretty unique. And it does not end there either. Scotty Barnes can play practically anywhere, OG Anunoby can play from shooting guard to power forward, and even a majority of their big men can handle the ball too. Again, they might not have the quote-unquote star power that other teams in the Eastern Conference do, but they are arguably even more difficult to game plan against. And in today's video, we're going to discuss what the Toronto Raptors are capable of, and why it's probably not a good idea to sleep on them. Before we do that though, I would genuinely appreciate it if you could take a brief moment to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to get updated right away when I drop a new video. Without further ado though, let's dive right into it, and we'll begin by talking a bit more about what makes them so different. Like I referred to before, they are incredibly unique and difficult to game plan against, which is definitely not by accident either. Throughout the past half-decade, the NBA has been revolutionized by three-point shooting in smaller lineups, and although that is still the case for the most part, we're beginning to see a little bit of change. Now, three-point shooting is definitely here to stay, but we're beginning to see the return of bigger players, though not in the same way that we once did. Rather than running your offense through a traditional big in the post, we are now watching those big men step out to the three-point line, and not only to shoot the ball either, but sometimes to run an entire offense. It really was not that long ago that a guy like Scotty Barnes or Pascal Siakam would be relegated to a role primarily involving posting up, running the floor, and simply playing like a traditional power forward. However, times have definitely changed, and although Siakam and Barnes will do plenty of those things within their offense, they will at times run their entire offense too. And when they have a guy of that size bringing the ball up the court, or even initiating their entire offense, that is an opportunity to create havoc. By doing that, the Raptors force the opposing team to make a choice. They have to decide what kind of player to match up with them, and likely alter their rotation a bit to accommodate that matchup too. And given that they're fully healthy, the Raptors could have 3 to even as many as 5 different players initiating their offense throughout the game. And that is something that very few, if any other teams can do routinely, which can often make the Toronto Raptors a matchup nightmare. They rarely employ a lineup including a traditional big, and while you might think that would negatively affect them on defense or while rebounding, they have found a way around that. Now, they do get taken advantage of for playing small ball here and there, but not nearly as much as you think they would for often playing Siakam at the 5. They ended up finishing as the 9th rated defense and 8th rated rebounding team last season, both of which are very respectable, and especially for a team that plays smaller than your average one. And they have now given themselves the ability to play bigger if they need to as well, drafting Christian Koloko in the first round of the NBA draft, and although he likely won't play very much, it does provide them with yet another option. Diving into the way they play a little bit deeper though, I was very impressed with their ability to wreak havoc on defense, while at the same time play under control on offense. And it is not often you find a team who can do that. Typically, a team will either play fast on both ends of the court, or try to be very methodical and slow the pace of the overall game. But the Toronto Raptors found a happy medium last season. They were able to create the 2nd most points per game off turnovers, the 3rd most fast break points per game, and all while playing at the 4th slowest pace per game. Doing that gave them the ability to have an efficient offense, and also a very disruptive defense, which is a very hard combination to achieve in the NBA. And that is a credit to their head coach, along with their front office to be able to construct a very creative team. Very few people thought they would be as good as they were last season, and they only appear to be getting better. They have only 2 players over the age of 29, with those 2 being Khem Birch and Thaddeus Young, and then they have 0 players over the age of 28 in their starting lineup. That should theoretically give them even more room to grow. Again, they may not have a widely regarded star player yet, but they very well could soon. In fact, there are those that believe they already do in Siakam, and then will likely have another soon in Scotty Barnes, and I for one am all in on the Scotty Barnes hype train. Even apart from them though, there could still be hope for OG Anunoby, or maybe even Gary Trent Jr. to take another leap forward, as they're both only 25 and 23 years old respectively. Or maybe looking a bit beyond that, there have been rumors about the Raptors thinking about trading one, if not both of them, for a legitimate star player. A trade for Kevin Durant never ended up falling in their lap, but there might eventually be an opportunity for Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, or potentially Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. With that last one being a name that has been continuously linked to them, they quite obviously have a liking for Gilgeous-Alexander and would likely jump at the opportunity to acquire him. Now, I'm not saying they should or should not do that given the opportunity, but I am pointing out the options they have here. The Toronto Raptors are built to compete the way they are, and even naturally get better without making a trade. But again, the option is definitely there for them, and we all know Masai Ujiri is not afraid to make a move. It was not that long ago they traded fan favorite DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard, which at the time was very controversial, but it ended up bringing them an NBA championship. You can never predict when a player like that might become available, but the Toronto Raptors are in a perfect position for it to happen. They have an abundance of trade assets, with proven veterans in their prime like VanVleet and Siakam, young improving players like Anunoby and Trent Jr., and a number of draft picks to offer as well. Regardless of what they do though, I love the outlook for the Toronto Raptors, both in the short term and long term future too, and there are not many teams I can say that about. What do you guys think though? Do you believe the Toronto Raptors are being slept on? And how do you think this season will pan out for them? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.